welcome back to First to Know. I'm Alicia, and I'm joined with Ryan Avery. I'm going to look at your name tag, Follensbee. I don't want to mess that up. Tell me what you do. What do you do?
Well, I have the great privilege of being the director of the Enology, Viticulture, and Southwest Wine Center at Yavapai College.
Wine. I understood that.
Yes.
So wine center, great. Viticulture. What does that mean?
Viticulture quite literally breaks down to grapes, growing of grapes, right? So vitis is Greek for grape. So it is the agriculture of grapes. And enology, to get ahead of you, is the science of fermentation of winemaking.
So you knew I wasn't going to know that one either. Okay. So making of wine. So you're telling me at Yavapai College, you have a whole setup where you're in there you grow the grapes, you do all of that?
We do. We have quite a footprint, we'll say, about 13 acres of vineyard, right? And a very beautiful winery / tasting room there on the campus in Clarkdale. So what we call the Verde Valley campus.
Okay.
The key there is that it's all student fueled. So the first year on average, you can spend your year learning how to grow the grapes. And the second year, we're open to we're open to different pathways. The second year, the students learn how to make the wine.
Okay. So if I just wanted to dabble in winemaking, or maybe I'm just there for the free wine, I don't know. But is this class basically set up for, I'm going to open my own vineyard and I'm going to learn how to do this, or can just kind of the enthusiast take this class?
At large, a lot of folks already have some sort of appetite for it, or you hear a lot of stories about my grandfather made wine in the garage or things of that nature, right? Or they maybe were in a region and were just saturated with wine culture one way or another, though that's not how everyone's story starts, right? A lot of people look at it and say, that looks fun, right? I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we do offer from top to bottom, right? What we call our amateur or home winemakers. That's a great entry point into the program. If you are just into wine knowledge and consuming, you want to you're maybe a fan of wine, you want to learn a bit more about worldly regions, or use or acquire some palate descriptors and things of that nature, some wine vocabulary, if you will. We also have those classes. It is a destination program, which is pretty fun, which also is kind of a different answer on what you asked. So we do have locals, and we also have distance learners.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty neat. That's unique in the wine education world. Yavapai College is one of the only to offer that. But again, all entry levels. If you want to just take a couple community classes on your improving your garage winemaking, your backyard winemaking,
bathtub,
whatever is food grade fermentable, we are open to that as well. But we do have a lot of folks that want to make a career of this, right? Want to make a go. So some of those are maybe younger workforce, right, in their early 20s, and that want to do this for the long term. But we often see a lot of second careers or retirees coming into this program as well. So our average age varies, but it's generally in the high 40s to low 50s to put a number on that of our student population. We do have a lot of folks that are in that second career who maybe weren't in the wine industry before. You see a lot of military and a lot of other trades come in, and this is their next 10 or 20 years.
Well, it makes sense. If this is a passion, and maybe when you're 20, I don't see myself making wine, but as you've completed a career and it's like, okay, what now?
Yep.
This is a perfect thing. Why Clarkdale?
Why Clarkdale?
Is it a temperature thing? Do we need it to be warmer to grow the grapes? Do we not get hot enough here?
Clarkdale happens to be, so this is where I'll introduce you to some more vocabulary. There's things in the wine world known as AVAs, and those are American Viticulture Areas, right?
Okay.
So that is a special place that has been federally designated, right? It actually has to go through the Tax and Trade Bureau to be acknowledged. But these are places you've probably heard of. Napa, Sonoma, right? These are places we conjure up images, right? So Arizona has 3 of those, and it happens to be 2 are down south in the Wilcox-Sonoyta area, and the third one, which is the most recent one, is the Verde Valley AVA, and it happens to be that Clarkdale is right inside there, right? So we are in the location works out because we are in the newest and most northern growing region federally recognized growing region for the state.
Awesome. So, okay, you grow the grapes, you make the wine. I'm assuming you put it in a bottle or something. And then what do you do with it?
We do. It's easier said than done, of course, right? So, growing is a 12-month sport, right?
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Growing is we have a dedicated vineyard manager out there on staff, and what we again rely on a lot of student labor. That is a 12-month process, right? A lot of people focus on this time of year where the grapes are coming off, and there's that. Winemaking is also a 9 to 12-month process as well, right? So these grapes that we're harvesting in the 2025 vintage, which I will say is remarkable vintage, beautiful crop this year, we will, which obviously started in January, we will process those grapes and conduct fermentation for probably another 6 to 9 months. And you are correct, we will put it in a bottle. We have all that equipment on site. So at that point, it'll be transferred over to our tasting room, which is on site. And that is...
Do you sell the wine? Does it go into... You're like, and then we taste it and then we're done. It's just a party.
There's too many angles there. At that point in time, we're open to the public, right? We have a tasting room that's open 4 days a week at this point in time. We conduct a few events, but the tasting room is the main outlet for our wine. We're a destination. I failed to mention that we're at the foothills of Mingus Mountain. So a high enough elevation that we can see, you look one way, you can see Sedona, right? The vortex and the rocks. You look the other way and you're, looking at the beautiful majesty of Mingus.
Awesome. So if I don't want to make wine, I just want to drink it, I can go to the tasting room and then buy the wine right there?
Absolutely correct. And I think the one thing that we have an advantage of over other wineries is, due to this process I've described, we have a new batch of winemakers every year, right? So the grapes remain the same. They're still coming from the same vine, same vineyard, same plot. But each year there's a different twist on it, right? You'll have a different set of 15 winemakers who are putting their expression on it, right? One of the things we do is that if we do a lot of blending to see what's going to work out best, right? Winemaking is both an art and a science, but whoever's blend is selected, there's a pretty neat twist here as far as they get to choose the front label. They select a picture out of their own photo library somewhere, that they've taken during their 18-month journey through the program, and they get to write the back label, right? So their tasting notes and their name is now on the back of the bottle as well. So it's an honor. It's a badge of honor to have one of your wines selected, but it's a very vibrant tasting room. And if you come back in 1 year, you'll see a whole new flight of wines with a whole new set of winemakers, which is pretty cool. Not a lot of wineries can say that.
Oh, I love that because it blends a little bit of this little competition too. It's like, I want to make the best wine possible because I want, my picture, my name on that bottle.
Absolutely.
That's really great. Yeah. I like that a lot. Why wine for you?
Wine for me,
how'd you get here? What'd you do?
It's funny because I often introduce myself as a Cork dork, which is an accurate statement. So
you got Tony over there cracking up. What is a Cork dork? What is that?
A Cork dork, just a wine nerd. So the why of enology for me, or winemaking, is an interesting endeavor in the fact that it is both a physical job, right? And it is also a thinking job. There's a lot of, as you can imagine, there's a lot of kind of what we call aqueous chemistry. You got to know a little bit of science, but there's also just absolute labor involved, right? Barrels, grapes, forklifts, all the good stuff, whether you're in the vineyard or whether you're in the winery, right? And I found that if I ever had just one job that was maybe very analytical or very laborious, there's a part of me that doesn't get satisfied, right? And winemaking has always satisfied me because you can tire yourself out and you can work on the complex problems at the same time. So that's what, when I first got in, captured me, and it's kept me here for well over 15 years now in the winemaking side of the business.
So if you're a Cork dork, I'm a wine dummy. I'm not. The first time I had a red wine, I put it in the fridge. I didn't know, it was, oh, thanks. So I usually will use wine to cook with, but tell me, what is your favorite blend? I know there's Chardonnay. I know there's Merlot. What type of blends are coming out of your winery?
Our winery is unique in the fact that, again, we have 13 acres planted to 13 grapes. Every grape has about an acre at that point. We are a little heavier on red wines than we are on white wines, but we we're in a point where a lot of those grapes were planted when we were still figuring things out, right? As far as Arizona, we are relatively young.
Yeah.
This version of the Arizona wine industry is relatively young, right? There was a version pre-prohibition, and this is the kind of
Well,
round two.
That's another show.
That is another show about how those vines came out. But this version of the Arizona wine industry, we're still figuring some things out, right? And we tend to lean towards regions that are similar to ours, right? So think Spain, right? High temperatures, a little bit of that high altitude desert vibe, those sorts of things. We tend to lean towards some areas of Italy. We have a growing region that gets a lot of heat, gets a lot of sun. And it's funny that grapes actually match up to those climatic conditions, right? If you're in a place that's maybe not as warm and maybe not as sunny throughout the year, you're going to pair that, or you're going to produce lighter grapes, right? Wines that are a little lighter on their feet, maybe higher acid.
Okay.
And if you have, the intensity of Arizona summers, you can actually convert that intensity into the
Bolder wine.
And you need to choose a grape that can go that direction. So what we have out there, to answer your question directly, is grapes like Tempranillo, known for Rioja in Spain, right? We have Sangiovese, known around the Tuscany region, or Chianti, right? As far as Italy. We have Grenache, which is known in the southern French region, the Rhone Valley, so water along the Mediterranean coast. So these are some of the red grapes we have. And you can kind of see that there's a little circle there, the Mediterranean region that's, warm. So these are the type of grapes that we produce.
You're a smart guy. I know there's red grapes and there's green grapes. So the fact that you're saying all these words today, I'm like, really? There's all those types of grapes?
There's going to have to be a glossary, an appendix of definitions at the end. Yes. Exactly.
Ryan's words. Just making stuff up. I don't even know. I can't even check you on it. But so exciting. What types of things? Do you have any events coming up? What's going on? I mean, are you just growing grapes all the time, or what are you doing?
Growing grapes is a large portion of our business, yes. But we are active, right? As far as we are, so I'm new to the position, right? Okay. I've just introduced myself this year into the position. And part of what I'm looking to accomplish is we're opening ourselves back up to the community in the fact of community events and things of that nature, right? So, for example, we have a gin class coming up, right? A sensory class of gin, right?
Okay.
Not only do we have a bonded winery, so that means we're legal, we also have a bonded distillery on the same premise, right? So
how do you get any work done?
We have sponsored by Celsius.
Right.
So we have both of those permits on site. So we have made in the past student distilled spirits, which is kind of fun. We've dabbled in it. We haven't gone fully down that road, but we do have that opportunity to teach that as well to the public, right? So it's a gin sensory class or things like that. At large, our big, we have some big things coming up in October. The biggest one is our wine club release is coming out in October, right? So that's a pretty big time. We're through our little party, and all the community supporters come around and taste that new batch of student-made wines. It's very nice. We've converted to having a little segment. Basically, the student representative is out there now. So the student that made the wine is going to be somehow represented, which is kind of fun. So again, going back to really what the core of our program is, and that's the student, right? We've got some other events coming up in the future as well, as far as we have our annual gala. Wine and Dine is a pretty big event. It's been going on for a little over 10 years now, but they've reimagined it. It's actually going to be held that we're utilizing the whole campus. So we have a pavilion in the center of campus that's very nice, very, very large, can hold about 200 something people, and we expect to see about 200 something people. So it's called Wine and Dine Under the Stars. It'll be a nighttime gala. I believe we have 22 wineries pouring their wines. A lot of those are student graduates that went through the program, started a winery, and are now giving back to the program, right? So that's pretty neat. So we get a lot of community support on that. I'm looking forward to it.
How many bottles of wine do you think you produce in a year? He's like, do you think? I know exactly.
This year, we're a little up on our numbers. On average, so I can tell you a lot of different metrics. For example, wine that we produce in our winery, we pulled 37 tons of grapes off the vines this year, right? So 70,000 pounds, 74,000 pounds of grapes came off.
Wow.
Exactly. Yep.
Wow.
So that went into the winery. On average, that'll produce about 150 to 160 gallons of wine per ton of grapes, right?
Okay.
So yeah, we're
you got me thinking.
We're up in the we're a little over the 5,000 gallon mark, right?
Wow.
So that'll produce at this point in time somewhere around 2,500 cases of wine, right? So you can imagine that 2,500 cases of wine, which each hold 12 bottles each, right? So that would be
125 times 12 is 12 times 12 is 240. So about
we're at 2,500 times. So yeah, so what, 3,000 or 30,000 bottles?
Yeah.
This year.
Insane.
It's a lot.
How are you doing this? How do I not know about this? Is great. This is great. If I'm a local restaurant owner and I want to have your wine in my restaurant, what do I do?
Reach out to us. Reach out to me. Yes.
Okay.
So we do have some partnerships, again, with actual, many of them are actually, again, people who went through the program or took some sort of wine appreciation or wine knowledge class. A lot of restaurateurs in the Verde Valley do support us. But that would be an honor, right? You're really supporting the students and supporting at one point in time, we are still the premier winemaking school in the state.
I'm always shocked at the things that Yavapai College is doing, the programs that we have for our young people and older people, like you said, that second time around, or, just pursuing something different. I just, a few years ago, we did the Trades magazine, which touched on these. Anything you want to do, anything, call them. There's something going on. So, I'm just impressed with everything. I'm impressed with you. I'm glad that you're here because I think you know your stuff. I know you know your stuff. I'm just rattling it off the top of your head. It's so impressive. If you guys are thinking of starting a second career or just want to learn how to do what I do, let's make some wine in my bathtub. Reach out to Yavapai College, right? Just enroll in the course. And
we have our own website, southwestwinecenter.com. And that's really a hub of a lot of information, right? You can book a tasting there. You can look at the course scheduling if you wish. You can send a note to me. You can put in your email address. It comes straight to me. I'll reach out to you in the next few days.
Awesome.
We also have a lot of historical. It kind of serves a little bit as a community data hub for some of our historical data in the vineyard and winery, right? Kind of as a benchmark for the community out there. But yes, to your earlier point, it is very impressive, right? Everything from 3D printing to, right, it's across the board.
Yeah.
And as a graduate,
no excuses. Right?
Yeah, exactly. As a graduate of a community college, not Yavapai College, but as a graduate of a community college, very similar, I think it's very valuable. And
100%.
The skills you build and the community staying close to home, there's a lot of advantages to it.
And you're able to do it on, without huge student debt too. You're able to, you've offered accelerated programs, certificate programs. Sky's the limit. Give them a call and get enrolled, people. Yeah. Drink some wine. If you're not going to make wine, go drink some wine. Go order some wine. So, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us today. It was awesome. It was a great interview. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you greatly for having me.
All right. We'll see you later next time. See ya.